The exercises that we did today were real good exercises for all three of these horses because it makes the canter, highlights the canter and the quality of the canter. Sesh, you've got to make sure this horse doesn't go from being a switched off canter to then a runaway canter. What we're ideally looking to do is get the 2 strides through the 2 diagonal poles, 5 strides to the first red pole, 5 strides down to the second red pole. You've got to keep working on getting the maintenance after the fence so the horse stays soft in the bridle and keep moving the head and neck so it stays as soft as possible. She likes to lock her jaw up and then run off with you, so you've got to make sure in the flat work that the canter is strong enough, not that you're just cantering around the arena thinking you've got a nice canter with it going nowhere. This horse is obviously very, very fresh, got better as the session went on. Your riding with her is much more super confident, that you're now actually believing you can ride the animal and you're actually asking the question of it, not that you're just sitting there piloting it and then it's taking the mickey out of you. Obviously make sure that you're keeping the canter coming through, and in the flat work at home make sure you've got enough gearage in the canter so you're bringing the canter forwards, taking the canter back, because obviously when you start to switch the canter on when you're jumping around a course of fences, it then gets very fresh with you and starts to buck and skip and get away from you. Make sure down the distances you keep supporting it so the last 2 strides you can get your leg on, not that the horse is running out of room and having to stop. Tara, you're again getting to know this horse, but what I would say is the pole exercise was probably vitally important for you because it highlights the canter, because this horse goes from having a switched off canter to then having a canter like a missile. So at home you want to be practicing down your poles that you can canter around the corner, say on a 3 stride distance to a pole, then a 4 stride distance to another pole, or like we've got this exercise set up here, so you come through the turn over 2 smaller poles, which is a shorter stride, i.e. 2 strides, then a 5 stride, then a 5 stride. The reason why we're linking poles to poles is because we're trying to get the canter to stay as regular as possible, because the one thing this horse struggles with is that you can keep the canter level to one fence and then all of a sudden it starts to get sharp, and then before you know it you're taking strides out like you did around the course of fences when we started to link them together. Then when we did the course of fences the second time, you actually regulated it and you had the distance how you wanted it. But like I said, you are only just getting to know this horse and it is better than when I last saw it. We don't want to be jumping this horse too big because you've got to get used to it first before we start asking the question. But like I say, keep practicing the poles and I'll see you a week Saturday.